Hey guys, welcome to my first ever YouTube video. So today I'm going to be talking about how I passed the NASM exam. So pretty much how I prepared for it, what I studied, how long it took me to study, and the actual test taking process, / what to look for or what to study to prepare for the test. Now, whenever I was studying for it, I was looking up a bunch of YouTube videos just because the book is 700 pages long. 700 pages long. So I was binge watching YouTube videos like crazy. I was looking up like what to study to pass the NASM, stuff like that. And I thought I'd come on here, make my own video to help others who are in my situation. I was cramming for the test. I had like 1 month to take it and I was not prepared at all. I honestly thought that there was no hope for me. I really didn't think I was gonna pass, but here I am. I wanted to try to help others who are currently studying and preparing to take the test. So I got the self-study program, which is like $600. Now, never purchase the NASM unless they're doing a sale, because they do sales literally all the time. So if you want to take it and it's like $1,000 for the self-study program, just wait a couple days, or just look up some discount codes online, because I'm pretty sure there's a bunch. Never pay full price for the NASM. Don't do it. So the reason it took me so long to actually study for the NASM is because I started watching Naruto right whenever I purchased the self-study program, which is not a good idea. Do not start a new TV show whenever you're preparing to study for the exam. Don't do it. Don't do it. I tried to wake up every morning. I ate breakfast. I tried to study for the NASM. The only thing I could think about was watching Naruto. God, it sounds so embarrassing and stupid, but anyways, it happened. It's over. It's fine. Whatever. And I believe there's 23 chapters. Well, maybe 21 or 23. But within each chapter, there's small little sections. So like, it could range from 1 to 4 or even like 1 to 10 sections within each chapter. And every section is like 1 to 4, 1 to 12 pages long, so it's quite a lot to read. And at the end of each section, it has like a little 3-question quiz just to test your knowledge on the section. And at the end of every chapter, they give you like a 10-question quiz on that. And then every chapter is kind of grouped into 6 different sections, I want to say. I feel like I've been saying sections so many times, but basically, yeah. So within there's, oh my God, this is so confusing, sorry. 6 sections, 23 chapters. Each chapter has like a specific amount of sections or groups or something, So it's just a lot to read, okay? It's just a lot of information. And there's 120 questions on the actual exam. So 700 pages of information, and you're going to get tested on 120 questions. Technically, only 100 of them count, and then 20 of them are research questions. Now, I kept hearing this all the time in so many different YouTube videos, and I was like, oh, okay, like it's fine, whatever. I expected that the first 100 questions were like the actual questions, you know what I mean? And then the last 20 or so were just like the research questions, whatever, they don't count, it's fine. So that's not the case. The 20 research questions, you probably won't be able to tell if they're research questions or actual questions that count towards the exam, or at least I didn't. So in terms of actually studying, I studied for about 4 weeks. I did not read the entire book. Now, it is very important to read the entire book to become a great personal trainer. But if you're like me and you're a procrastinator, you're not gonna have time to read the entire book in 1 month. I mean, maybe, but I couldn't. There's no way. So first things first, I printed out the study guide. Now, this literally has all of the highlighted information that you need from the textbook. Skim through the textbook. I passed the exam, my first try. 4 weeks of studying. I did not take any notes. I did not read the full book. I didn't use any mnemonics. I didn't study Quizlets. Didn't listen to the podcast. And I did not take the practice test over and over again, like everyone else on YouTube is saying to do. I did not do any of it. So I promise you, if I can do it, you can do it. With that being said, let me tell you the tools that I used that helped me tremendously. And I promise, study them, memorize them, you will pass the exam. First things first, print out the study guide. This has all of the highlighted information from each chapter of the textbook. I read the entire study guide and I highlighted the information that seemed to be the most important. Definitely, if you're cramming, just read the study guide. Don't even bother with the book. Click through the book, go through all the practice quizzes, just boom, boom, boom. I failed all of them. Oh my God, I feel like this is so bad. I feel like I'm exposing myself, but I promise you guys, I'm reading the rest of the book right now. It's just, I was stressed about the exam, okay? So I promise I'm no BS personal trainer. Okay, next up is this sheet right here. So I printed this off of Trainer Academy. Whenever I was researching like what to say for the NASM, Trainer Academy had a website that I clicked on. It has like a bunch of practice quizzes and stuff like that. So that is a great thing to utilize. I think I took the practice quiz once, but I didn't even read the study guide then, so I didn't do too hot on it. But this small piece of paper right here has a ton of information on it. So I definitely recommend printing this out and just reading this over just a bunch of times, trying to memorize it. This kind of saved my life a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. This next thing, not optional. I'm telling you, it is not optional. You need to memorize this entire chart. So this is the overhead squat assessment. I think I got 10, maybe a little bit more than 10 questions on this. It'll ask you like, what's the underactive muscle whenever the feet turn out, you know? A ton of questions like this. Take this everywhere with you. In the car, ask your friends to quiz you, ask your parents to quiz you. Just do it. If you want to, make a Quizlet. It's probably a good idea to do that. I know that some people use mnemonics to memorize this, but I literally have an image of this chart in my head because I just memorized the whole thing. So, I mean, whatever floats your boat. Just know these. Just know these, okay? And like I said earlier, I watched a ton of YouTube videos on other people's advice on how to pass the NASM. So I will link the most helpful ones in the description down below so you can check those out. The most important video, I think, in my opinion, was Show Fitness's video, and that'll be the first link in the description below. He went over the entire chapter, like flipped through the pages, told you what you needed to know. I watched that video maybe like 3 times, and I swear that helped me tremendously. So that video, along with these 3 things, oh my God, you'll be fine. That's pretty much all I did, and I passed. Now, I don't know what percentage I got on it. It doesn't tell you. I don't know how to find out, but all that matters is that I passed. I also read / saw YouTube videos on people saying they only read chapters 6, 7, 14, and took a bunch of practice quizzes and stuff like that. I definitely think 6, 7, 14 are the most important. So definitely read over those a couple of times. I definitely didn't memorize those chapters or anything like that, but the information is definitely very valuable in them. Okay, so let's talk about the actual exam and what was on it. So like I said earlier, it's 120 questions. 100 of those questions count, 20 of them don't. What I did whenever I was taking the actual exam, I went through every single question once. I answered the ones that I pretty much knew, and then I bookmarked the ones that I was iffy on, and I didn't answer the questions that I had no idea what the answer was. Whenever I was finished answering all 120 questions, I went back to the bookmarked, and I bookmarked 50 questions. 50 questions out of 120. I was like, it's over for me. There's no way. I went through all of the bookmarked questions again, made my best educated guess, and some questions actually answer other questions. You know what I mean? You know how some tests do that? So definitely keep an eye out for that, because that will happen. It happened for me. And you probably already know this, but every single person's NASM exam is completely different. I'm pretty sure that NASM has a pool of like 800 questions, and then they just give you just random 120 of them. And I wrote down a list of the best things to know / to study for on the exam. So I'm just gonna read that off now. OPT model. You have to know the OPT model like the back of your hand, just like the overhead squat assessment chart. So those two, definitely you have to memorize. Now the OPT model, you have to know obviously like the pyramid, stabilization, endurance, blah, 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 as well as the reps, sets, intensity, tempo, and rest times of every single, little pyramid section in that. Overactive, underactive muscles, cannot stress that enough. You have to know. Hey guys, I'm editing the YouTube video right now and I'm just popping on here because there's some stuff that I missed. So I'm just gonna go over that now. So the skin fold methods like the Jackson and Pollock, I don't know if I'm pronouncing these things right, 7 or 3 site protocol, just know those, and as well as the 4 site Dernan Warmerly. Okay, sorry, that was my mom. But the 4 site Dernan Warmerly protocol, also know that, like the skin fold sites and where to measure, You also have to know the heart rate reserve formula, which is, I'm gonna see if I can pop it on the screen somewhere. I don't really know how to edit very well, so I'm sorry if I can't. If anything, I'll just put it down in the description below, but it's HR max minus HR rest times desired intensity plus HR rest equals target heart rate. You definitely need to know that. I mean, it was on my test. I don't know if it'll be on yours just because it's random, but SMART goals. I had a couple questions on SMART goals. So specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So they'll ask you questions like, what is a SMART goal? And then it'll list like, oh, this person wants to lose weight, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, I don't really know where I was going with this, but basically they're gonna give you an example like, this person wants to lose 50 pounds. This person wants to lose a total of 20 pounds within 3 months. And by doing that, they're going to work out 3 times a week for 30 minutes. So obviously you can tell which one is a SMART goal versus just a random basic goal that they might not really hold themselves accountable for, kind of quit early instead of having like your actual main goal and the steps to take it there. I had like 3 questions on that, so just know what a SMART goal is. Subjective and objective data. Now this one I was a little bit iffy on. Heart, ventricles, atrium, know what that is. Chapter 6, read it, know it, know like the blood flow, blah, 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 all that. Blood pressure, know systolic, diastolic, know that it's like systolic over diastolic, 180 over 20. Know what hypertension is, and like the 130 over 90. Bless me. Know that it's 2.0 CEUs to recertify, so 20 hours of continued education. You don't have to retest. Thank God. Thank God. I definitely recommend reading the cardiovascular chapter. Know 1 to 3 stages, VO2 max, know what that is. I had a couple questions on that. Pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, and maintenance. They will ask you a couple questions on that. They'll give you an example like Susie is buying workout clothes to go to the gym. So just know what stage she would be in. Know a little bit about Golgi tendons, what they are, what they do. Epimysium, paramysium, and endomysium. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Mysium, I don't know. But it's on this sheet, it's on this sheet right here. So thank God for this sheet. Otherwise I wouldn't have known. Just know that it goes epimysium, paramysium, and endomysium. Endo is the deepest. I memorized this by epi and peri, epi, peri, endo. Endo is like the one who's left out at the end. I'm sorry. You don't have to know what they do, just know the order that they go in. Definitely know these terms. So reciprocal inhibition, altered, autogenic, synergistic dominance, as well as knowing what an agonist and a synergist is. They will ask you quite a few questions on that. Hypertension. So I had quite a few questions on those. I don't know if they were research questions or not. They gave me an example like, this person has hypertension. What stretch should you avoid? So just be mindful about that. Chapter 14, know the difference between static, dynamic, active stretching, how long you should hold stretched for, know about foam rolling. Definitely study stuff about the stabilizer ball and single leg exercises. Know what the BMI is for the average person, obese person, and overweight person. Characteristics of slow and fast twitch fibers, which you'll find on this sheet right here. They ask a couple questions about nutrition. I didn't really read the nutrition chapter, but they pretty much just ask you some basic questions. You'll find it in the study guide, so just read the study guide, you'll be fine. I also forgot to talk about the practice test. So NASM gives you a practice test. It's 100 questions. You get a 2-hour time limit, just like the real thing. But let me tell you, it is nothing like the actual exam, so definitely don't get your hopes up. I found that the actual exam is a lot harder, and the YouTube videos that I watched, people were like, oh yeah, if you take the practice exam and if you score 100%, you're fine, you're perfectly okay. But it is nothing like the actual exam, let me tell you. I swear, I took the practice exam twice. I did pass both of the times, but I mean, I only passed with like a 71, 74%. And people online are like, take the practice exam until you get 100% and then you'll do fine on the actual test. And I just don't think that's the case. I think you just need to know your stuff. Don't rely on a practice exam getting 100%. I don't think that'll really do you any favors. I mean, it definitely will help you know like what you need to brush up on, but don't use that as your #1 studying tool. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys. So I hope this helps in some way. You'll do great on the actual exam. I swear, use all of these tools. I'm telling you, they will save your life. So those are all of my tips and tricks. I really hope this helps you guys in some way. Good luck to those who are studying and preparing for the exam. I believe in you. You got this. I swear. Use the freaking tools, dude. Use these tools, and I swear, you got it. You got it. Hey, sorry, I forgot to add in that I took the 7th edition of the test. And if you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to. I'll be posting some fitness content, lifestyle, all that good stuff. I'll also leave the links to my other socials down in the description below. And I hope you guys have a freaking awesome day. And if you're preparing for the exam, you got this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.